Perez, absolutely flying.
Monaco qualifying is always thrilling, but boy, this one was different. I mean, we saw 4 different provisional pole sitters at one point. And I'm not talking like at the beginning of the session when everyone's making their out laps and it like switches. Like late in the session, 4 different drivers from 4 different teams. Verstappen, who eventually won the pole, Alonso, Leclerc, and Ocon. Ocon was on pole there for about a minute or so. I mean, it was thrilling qualifying session. The past few years, obviously, it's always thrilling at Monaco, just the thin margins. You can't have any mistakes because the track is not forgiving in any way, shape, or form. And we saw that in full effect today. I mean, we saw the defending winner, Sergio Perez, crash in Q1, and he's starting last, so the field is a Red Bull sandwich. And then that last lap, the last sector that Max Verstappen put in was legendary almost, I can say. He was 2/10 behind Alonso entering the final sector, and he won the pole by almost a full tenth. He made up almost 3 whole tenths of a second in the final sector at Monaco. It's insane. That's like the swimming pool chicane, the last couple of corners there, I can't remember their names, and the front straight. He hit the wall on the front straight trying to keep the line as straight as possible and trying to stay as low on the track as he possibly could. It was a mind-blowing qualifying session. Absolutely thrilling. And we got to see it play out this year. The last couple of years, we've seen Monaco qualifying being thrilling, being fun, being exciting. But it's been ended short due to crashes. Last year was Perez crashing right before the tunnel. And the year before, it was Leclerc crashing at the exit of the swimming pool chicane. So we've seen fun qualifying sessions. And yes, that does make it thrilling when there's a crash. Yes, it does. But this year, when you get to see it play out and you see the purples, you see the greens, the yellows on the timing sheets, and you see the order switching around and you see different people on pole, it's fun. And you also have in the back of your head, someone could crash right now and ruin this all. So it's always a fun thought to have a weird pole sitter. Like when Ocon was on pole, I was like, we're one wacky person crashing away from Ocon being on pole and probably winning Monaco if there's no weather tomorrow. Like, because the cars are so wide, the streets are so narrow at Monaco, it's pretty difficult to pass. Like, we could have legit seen an Ocon win tomorrow, but no, it ended up being Max Verstappen putting the sector of his life together in that third sector on his final run. Time was running out. He was 2/10 behind Alonso, as I said, and he just went absolutely insane. The camera was perfect. He drove it perfect, and he is on pole for the Monaco Grand Prix tomorrow. His first ever Monaco pole as well. Took it from Fernando Alonso. When I saw plus .204 from Alonso on entering that final sector, I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to happen. Fernando Alonso is going to be on pole in 2023 in an Aston Martin. And we might see a Fernando Alonso win tomorrow. Then Verstappen put together like the most insane sector ever. So, that's got to be one of Verstappen's best poles. No, he didn't absolutely obliterate the field by 7/10. No, he didn't, just own qualifying, and it was no question. But right when it looked like he was down, right when it looked like there's no way he can get it, he still figured out a way to pull it off by 0.08 of a second. Absolutely insane. He beats Fernando Alonso. Alonso on the front row at Monaco. It's tough enough to pass as is at Monaco, so he's going to either have to get a rocket start or hope that Verstappen has a mechanical failure or that Verstappen misses a turn or something, because that Red Bull is insane. Speaking of Red Bull, Sergio Perez, still kind of in the championship fight. I know it's early. He's only 14 or 15 points behind. Completely blew through turn 1 and crashed in Q1. He will start 20th tomorrow. Usually at any other track, that'd be fun to watch him go through the field, like when he did at Australia, when he went from 20th to 5th. But Monaco, it's going to be difficult to pass. Even with the Rocket Red Bull, it's going to be difficult to pass. So I'll be interested to see how he does, but tomorrow's going to be tough. He's going to need some help with safety cars or some crashes or something, but it's going to be rough for Perez. Really tough qualifying session for the defending winner of the Monaco Grand Prix. Really good street course racer as well. But yeah, just completely missed turn 1 and hit his left rear to the wall, and it destroyed the suspension and all that. Leclerc's starting third for his home race. He was just over a tenth off of getting his third straight home pole at Monaco. Ocon might be the other story of the day, is starting fourth in that Alpine. Was on provisional pole for just a minute, but yeah, thrilling stuff. And then also with the Perez crash, they lifted it up on a crane, and of course the floor was just completely exposed. All the photographers were like, they did the same with the Mercedes earlier. Mercedes Hamilton crashed in the third practice, and like they just worked months, over a year on that floor trying to upgrade it and all that stuff in their first race with upgrades. Everyone's like, oh, what a nice floor you got there. You know, like, that's ironic that I'm looking up for a floor. It's a floor of a race car, obviously. Anyways, you guys get the point, but absolutely thrilling. Another shout out to Yuki Tsunoda was second in Q1. He ends up starting ninth. Lando Norris, he hit the wall, broke some of his suspension in Q2, but he was able to drive it back to the pits. They did a quick repair, got him back out there. He's still starting 10th, but great job by that crew, by those mechanics to get that car fixed and back out going. Yeah, it seemed like a very, we didn't see any huge crashes outside of Perez, but a lot of people were skimming the wall. Verstappen skimmed the wall a couple of times. Norris skimmed the wall. I think one of the Alpines, maybe Gasly, maybe Ocon. Well, those are the two options. But a lot of people like really pushing it close, right on the edge there. So we'll see how this race goes tomorrow. I've got a pretty good idea. I think Verstappen first, Alonso second, Leclerc third. Well, then again, it's Ferrari, so you never know. But anyways, thanks for watching this. What a thrilling qualifying session. Let me know your thoughts. Give me your predictions for the race tomorrow. Monaco, tomorrow. One of the biggest races, if not the biggest race in F1. I think it's the biggest race, but history always being made. You get to witness it.